Hey everybody, it's Silver Seeker, and in today's video, I wanted to talk to you about something that's starting to become apparent to me and probably to a lot of other people as well, especially other silver YouTubers, but anyone that watches videos about silver on YouTube. There's starting to be less interest, maybe even a loss or a lack of faith in silver stacking. And it is something that I have noticed as a silver YouTuber myself, where the majority of my videos are about silver stacking. I have noticed lower views. I've noticed lower sub growth, like slower sub growth, if you will. And I've looked at other silver channels, others that I follow, others whose videos I actually watch, and I've noticed the same thing. Now, it won't be said for every single video, some get more than others, but at the end of the day, it's become very apparent that there's just less interest in silver than there was going all the way back to February, which of course is also the beginning of the silver squeeze. And I wanted to talk to you about why I believe that is, and then what we can do about it as well. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video, guys. Let's get into it. But really quick, if you are into silver, please do me a favor. I'd really appreciate it if you make sure you're subscribed. It really helps me out. We're almost to 50,000 subs. Additionally, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and help YouTube recommend this video to others. All right, let's start talking about it. So I think what we need to do is we need to start all the way back in February at the beginning of the silver squeeze. And the reason I think we need to start there is because the beginning of the silver squeeze is when a lot of people were starting to get into silver that weren't already in it. Of course, there were a lot of people already in the silver, but you had a lot of new people getting into silver because of the beginning of the silver squeeze. Now, if you guys remember at the beginning of it, I was actually really excited about it, even though you guys know that it is not something I'm a fan of. I have not been a fan of the silver squeeze for a very long time, but at first I thought it was a really cool idea. In fact, I even did videos when they were doing the billboards. They actually took donations, by the way, for billboards, put them up in different parts of the US, which I thought was a really cool idea, and I was a fan of that, and so I did videos on it. But, you know, I very quickly realized that the silver squeeze was a negative thing. Now, there's a couple of things that happened negatively as a result of the silver squeeze. First, when they started buying up all the silver with all these silver raids, you saw the premium skyrocket. Well, the premium skyrocketed for a couple of reasons. I mean, supply and demand is the biggest thing. There's less supply than there is demand, so the premiums are going to go up because these online retailers that everyone was raiding didn't have enough silver to cover all of the orders. Now, eventually that slowed down. Either the orders slowed down or the quantity picked back up. But either way, now all the retailers still have plenty of silver in stock, but the premiums haven't come back down to pre-squeeze levels. So that's one of the biggest negative things, because you're paying more per ounce for silver over spot than you were before the squeeze. The other thing that was really negative, and I think this is what's really causing the issue, which I'm talking about, and this is why you're seeing not only less people watching videos about silver, less people subscribing to channels about silver, but you're also seeing more negative comments about silver stacking in the videos that are coming out, is that it got a lot of people into it for the wrong reasons. So what is the right reason to get into silver or to stack silver? Well, I don't believe in the fiat dollar or the fiat currency at all. I don't believe in the US dollar whatsoever. Now, I do believe in its necessity. It is necessary to have US dollars to be able to pay your bills and rent and things like that, to buy your food and take care of your family. I believe in its necessity, but what I really don't believe in with the US dollar is the government's ability to control its price or value. I should say not price, but value. And the reason I say that is because you are seeing inflation right now at 6.8% is the official number, but you and I know that it's way higher than that. And that is a direct result of the government and their crazy spending policies and their crazy idea of just printing trillions of dollars and putting it into circulation by giving everyone a bunch of free money. What is that going to do? Of course, it's going to raise the price on everything. Shocking. It happened. I mean, I heard one person say, and I thought it was really funny, but it rang so true. He said, the inflation certainly isn't unexpected. In fact, you would have had to have been a Fed chairman to have not seen it coming. I thought that was really funny because valid point. In fact, I actually made a video about it a little over a year ago where I specifically said putting all this money into circulation is going to cause major inflation. I specifically said that. Now, I also in that video said that stacking silver is a good hedge against that inflation, and it hasn't shown to be so far. I will absolutely acknowledge that it's very clear that silver, the price of silver, has not kept up with inflation this year. That doesn't mean that it's falling behind. It was just way ahead at the first point, so it's starting to come down a little bit. But at the end of the day, the point is that I believe the reason for stacking silver or any precious metal is because you don't believe in fiat currency, you don't believe in the US dollar or the government's ability to control the US dollar and control the value of the US dollar. And so you want it to be in something that's finite, that's like a precious metal like silver, or you can do gold. There's people that are into gold as well. and you want to take your money and you just want to preserve your wealth with something that's always going to have value like this. Now, of course, it's going to have ups, it's going to have downs, but when you have a lot of people that were getting into it at the beginning of the silver squeeze because they thought it was going to be the next GameStop, or they thought it was going to be the next Bitcoin or the next AMC, that's where the problem is. So many people started buying silver because they saw the silver squeeze and they said, hey, silver's going to go to $150 an ounce. Let's buy 1,000 ounces and we're going to all be millionaires. And then it didn't happen. Not only did it not happen, but the silver that they bought back at the beginning and near the start of the silver squeeze, and even the first couple of months after, they are way overbought in because the price of silver has come down. The premiums have come down a little bit as well. And at this point, it's not going to be possible for them to get their money back out of the silver that they bought then. Now, for someone like me, I'm not that concerned about it because I didn't buy any silver that with money that I was super worried about not having for a while. I put money into silver that I don't need for those medical emergencies that I have stored aside, which everyone should have. Everyone should have money stored aside for medical emergencies or, natural disaster emergencies or just any emergencies that you don't expect. If you're in a car accident and you need to replace your car, you should always have money ready to go to take care of anything that's going to be, that could surprise you, if you will. And then after that, when you have enough money put aside to take care of those things, and then you have that extra money that's just going to be sitting in a bank account and doing absolutely nothing. That's the money that you put into your precious metals, and you put it aside so that you always have something that's not going to completely crash in value like the US dollar definitely could. If you were buying a bunch of silver because you think that it's going to go to $150 to $200 an ounce, and then it doesn't, and then the value goes down like it has been, then you're really going to lose interest. You're going to start getting dissenting opinions. You're going to start thinking negatively about precious metals. You're going to stop stacking because you weren't stacking for that right reason anyway. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of people that are not near as interested in silver as they were earlier in the year. I had one person actually say that, silver stackers, their heart is in the right place, but they have the wrong metal. You need to go into gold. And you know what? I have no problem with that. As you can see, I have gold as well. I actually do stack gold as well. I have no problem with gold. In fact, if you guys want to know something, this is really funny. The reason that I have this exact amount of silver on the table here, it's 80.15 ounces, is because that is the conversion ratio for 1 ounce of gold today. Gold to silver ratio is 80.13. This is 80.15 ounces of silver and 1 ounce of gold. So literally this 1 little ounce of gold here, all of the silver is needed for the same value. So a lot of people like gold for that reason. And to be honest with you, if you'd been buying gold instead of silver, you'd be in a much better place because gold has been much more stable this year than silver has. But anyway, I think that's the reason why. So I think at the end of this video, what I really want to tell you, what I really want to portray to you in this video is that if you're stacking your silver for the right reasons, if you're putting it aside because you don't believe in the US dollar and you want to put it into something, now whether it's silver or gold or even cryptocurrency, if you believe in that, I don't, but others do. I have no problem with that. At least it's not the US dollar, which I don't think anyone believes in. At the end of the day, I think all of us, we're all thinking the same thing. At least the fundamental stackers are all thinking the same thing. And that's that real money is right here like this and not those US dollars that you put in your wallet. So that's what I have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. Don't forget to go down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out if you do that, and I appreciate it. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and you have a fantastic rest of your day.